recording.
Hey, welcome everybody to the that's QQQuantum Self live stream podcasts where we bridge the East versus West. Sorry, not versus. We bridge the East and West. This is where science, spirituality meet through embodied communication and discussion. I am John Tegdeep, and these are my cohorts, Aqua Wolf and Tej Ranshir. And we are here to bring higher level discussions on spiritual and science topics in a way that everyone can understand and relate and get involved. So today, this is our first stream. So be kind if you see any hiccups here. We're just getting acclimated. We're going to introduce ourselves and we're going to go into a discussion on meditation. Following that, we're all going to meditate for 20 minutes and we invite all of you to join us. And after that, stick around. We will do a longer discussion and we fielded some questions from the audience. So love to be engaged and hear your thoughts and yeah, get into it. So anyway, that's enough of that. Let's do some introductions. Start with my good friend here, Aqua Wolf. Aqua, why don't you tell us a little about yourself, why you're here, and what you hope to see?
Thank you, Chan. It's always a pleasure. So I had a download from the universe about 4 months ago, and I did not know any of these guys. And I just heard, hey, work on this quantum, bridge East and West. And through a chain of events, going to India, going to Peru, doing plant medicines, I met somebody in India, and then he introduced me to these amazing gentlemen here. And I'm just grateful that we are here sharing this space because our visions, our paths just happen to be so harmonic that when we met each other, it felt like a chord. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like when you strum a chord on a guitar. It's the most amazing feeling, guys. So what I envision, let me start here, guys. Let me start with who I am. I am a software engineer. What I do is I create software, but not only just software to make profit, but software to empower, software to enlighten and expand consciousness. That's something I'm deeply passionate about. AI, and I want to be the bridge between the conscious community and the tech community because there's a big divide at the moment. And I see that is needed, education and awareness is needed. And through that, we're able to, go on this path of ascension together with the AI. And there's so much beautiful stuff that I want to introduce to the community. And, why am I here? I feel like I touched that topic, right? Like I want to expand. I want to introduce so many different modalities through my journey of spirituality to the conscious community from a tech perspective. So what is quantum self to me? Quantum self is tapping into your infinite potential, tapping into the unmanifested field and being able to just be your authentic natural self and shine that light that's necessary, right? Like your uniqueness is necessary. And we want to demystify the woo-woo, right? Like demystify all the words and the Sanskrit and, all the things that scare people when they think about like Eastern spirituality and there's like 2,000 gods, right? Like, so people are kind of scared and we want to demystify everything and bring it in a holistic sense with a scientific approach. And this is where my good friend, Tej, he's an expert in this. So I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to Tej, and he's going to explain how practically we're going to do that. So go ahead, Tej.
Satnam, full disclosure, I'm an expert in nothing except randomness or constant constant contained self-growth. So that being said, I guess I'm the eco-mad scientist around here. When we talk superhero talk, Doctor Strange. That's also a good fun way of looking at it. But I'm all about closed loop systems and closed loop systems that can be sustainable, that actually sustain themselves, and as they sustain themselves they also grow, but the growth that they grow is also sustained because the system as itself is sustained. So quantum self for me is where a space in a container where we can all individually be unique, because we all individually understand that each one of our uniqueness accepted by the other person creates unity. So here in this space you'll start to see three unique individuals all expressing unique topics and beliefs, and which what we're going to do with this space is we're going to unify them or weave them together. Ideally, in the result of that, it'll help more of you unique people or viewers or family, if you want my opinion, to help us broaden our bandwidth, because what I see is what I see, what you see is what you see. But when we can talk together in love about what you see and what I see, even though it doesn't matter the opinions of what we see, we can utilize it to make a whole new thing. So every time we have a disagreement, if we can come to agreement about our disagreement, it makes a path of opportunity for it to become its own third thing, in which I didn't think of, or they didn't think of, or you didn't think of if you're one of our future viewers. So yeah, for me, this space is just kind of another space that we met all these guys through Meditation Dome. So Chand and myself just started meditating today, meditating every day in the hopes to get more of our community members to meditate with us, so that we could be a better efficient community within the community. Kind of like you sitting there meditating and then your higher self sitting there meditating with the other dudes and the other dudes' higher selves. So it's like a whole nother, we're trying to take the microscope and expand it up to be a telescope, but also be able to remember that we can expand it back down to a microscope. So in the sakes of keeping things short, I believe I touched on all of the what this is hopefully going to be, what I'd like it to see, and what I hope it can be for everybody who gets involved, because we all can benefit from self-regulation, but from my experience, there seems to be a lack of space where people can then go and talk about their own experimentation with self-regulation without feeling judged by anybody. Just knowing that like we're all going through this thing and it's all going to look differently on all of us, but like it's all the same thing. And the better that we all, or the more consistently we all do it individually, the bigger and more collectively we will all grow. So the day that we wake up and we care about growing ourselves is the day that we wake up and all grow together. Because the more I grow on me or work on me, the more I can work with these guys or everyone else in this dome. And it goes both ways. Healing always goes both ways. So yeah, it's gonna be a hoot. And this is one. This is the first one. So like bumps are fun, but it's gonna come to a big hill, and then it's gonna be a big down ride, and it's gonna come to another big hill, and then down there, we're sine waving. Anyway, let's talk.
Thank you for that, Tej.
Thank you, Tej. I guess that leaves me. Yeah, thank you, Tej. Thank you, Aqua Wolf, my friends. So I am Chand, Tag Deep. I guess Aqua is like the techno spiritual guy, and Tej is the eco mad scientist spiritual guy. I'm like the spiritual guy who translate the spiritual more to the science. Like I'm out there, you know. So who am I? Like this past life regression I had said that I am the spirit of the earth manifest. You know, I've lived, I was the rocks, I was the water, the dinosaurs, all the plants, all the birds, lived millions of lifetimes, right? So any of you star seeds tuning in, coming from different galaxies and planets, welcome. I hope you enjoy it here with us. I hope just please take care of our planet. Like we're really trying to make a difference and make this a better place for all of us to experience here. But thank you all for coming, whatever area you're from of this galaxy. Anyway, you know, I'm a manifester in life. I'm a creative. I'm a servant of the infinite. You know, and I'm really here to help free all sentient beings from suffering, and doing this by helping to facilitate others to be able to heal themselves with the raising of the vibration, and you know, doing this through just creating community and healing through community. You know, the individual healing through the safety of community, and through teaching techniques and talking about just these high vibrational things that can open new pathways in our lives. Um, so I was a chef, and I was living in the matrix world for a long time. You know, I had a career and all that, and I just left it all to come and do this work. I'm a spiritual life coach, consciousness coach, and I really just try to help people to raise themselves to the next octave of their lives and really like uncover the dirt that lets their light shine through within. And that's what I just hope to do here as well, from my personal standpoint. So with the channel here, what I really love to see is that, you know, you get three perspectives here. It's like we got a spectrum of spirituality and science, east and west, and we all kind of have a different point on it, but we all understand each other in various ways as well, and we learn from each other, and we hope to expand this. Um, and beyond that, you know, like Tej was saying, we were all started meditating together, and we've got a small group of us that have been doing this, and we're the three that have been the most consistent, I would say, and we wanted to really bring it forward to the greater world, because what we find is when we meditate together, we come into a coherence. We kind of get on the same page of understanding and having patience and deep listening and just compassion. And you know, through that we've developed a community where we've supported each other. We've been able to work through karmas, or like in a more Western sense, like, you know, when you just have a difficulty in life that keeps presenting itself and you don't know why that's happening, you know, it's like you're caught in this loop. Yeah, that's basically what karma is. It's the result of actions that have happened, and we got to work them out. And the best way to work that out is through community and talking. And we meditate, we clear our minds and get a better perspective. You can see within, see what's going on with inside of us, and we can create coherence between each other so we can relate that and share our experiences. So with that, yeah, that's kind of what I that's me. That's why I'm here and what I'd like to see happen here. So we've got about a minute left, and we're gonna dive in today, to about a 30-minute conversation where we're just gonna start talking about meditation and let things go from there. So yeah,
Sounds awesome.
Help
meditation.
help you.
Yeah, yeah. And with that, if you're not sure how to meditate and you're not sure if you want to stick around for the meditation, it's 20 minutes. It'll be in the middle of our stream. The most basic thing you can do is just close your eyes and watch your thoughts. Try to watch your thoughts. Pay attention to what's going on in there. It can be difficult for some people, you know, just do the best you can and be happy with it.
Hmm.
Um, Yeah, and
Also,
you know, it's just like anything. The more you do it, it's just like building a muscle, working out. So get better and better. Tej, go ahead, man.
yeah, also if you so I can only speak from my experience, but like from at the when I but before I meditated, I had a hard time getting into meditation because every time I tried to start, I would be bombarded with thoughts. And based on what I knew about meditation, I was under the impression that when you had the thoughts during the meditation, that you were doing the meditation wrong. Now, in my what I've come to learn and figure out through experience and through science is that's not exactly the case. So, as we meditate, as we just close our eyes, like Ryan was saying, if you just close your eyes and start being aware to what's coming into your field, you're meditating. Nothing more is required. Like all you got to do is close your eyes, and the body will naturally start to sink within. It'll naturally start to try to balance. The systems will start to come into. If you wanted to do any other thing, your breath. So just be conscious of your breath. Your breath will anchor you into a relaxive state. If you can breathe with a pattern, if that's easier to breathe in a pattern, that'll help you also come to an anchor. If it's easier to just breathe and not think about anything, do that as well. Whatever comes most naturally, that's what you want to be, that's what you want to be embracing. And then when you find yourself doing something unnatural, like if you're all of a sudden thinking about why I'm thinking about this thought, and like, oh, I'm supposed to be meditating, I'm not supposed to be thinking, I use that as an example of a not natural state. And all you would need to do is just forgive all of that. Just be aware that's what's going on, and then you gently remind yourself to come back to a peaceful state. Just that act right there, catching your wandering mind and then bringing it back to a central place of stillness, whatever that is for you, you're meditating. If you haven't done it very often, that process is going to seem foreign to you, but that doesn't mean it's wrong. It just means that you're just starting to do it for the first times in your awareness. And as you do it more, it'll become more easy, and then you'll understand the process. The beautiful thing about meditation is it's all works perfectly for the person meditating. So you can hear us talk about meditating all day long, but the more you meditate, the more you'll learn how to meditate and what type of meditation works best for you, because your body is naturally going internal. Like that's the goal here. And then the last thing I'm going to say is when you're in that inner natural going inward, as your body releases stress, or as your parasympathetic system releases stress on the inward stroke, the outward stroke of that is a thought. It makes the stress release makes a thought. And so the thought's trying to release out of your field, but if you grab back onto it and feed it back into the system, it then becomes you take the stress that was just trying to naturally leave, and then you're feeding it back into the system. So long story short, just try and find or feel into whatever feels most natural and of the least resistance. Because when you're feeling non-resistance, you're doing it right. Doesn't matter what you're doing. What's happening the way it needs to happen is happening perfectly. And
Amazing.
that's all I'm saying. That's
That
all I'll
was,
say for now. That's all I'll say for now.
yeah.
And that was great, Tej. Thank you.
Thank you, Tej. That was amazing. And the cool thing about this experience is that even as he's speaking, it's refining my consciousness. And it's refining our consciousness. You know, having reminders is so powerful in life. And, you know, there's just so much volumes of information. So I'm grateful for you, Tej. Thank you so much. And you know, like I wanted to say something, but then he said everything I was thinking about. So then I'm like, what do I say now? So I don't know what to say. So I'm just gonna go to Ryan or Chand. I'm sorry, like Chand. So yeah.
Let's
Uh,
meditate together.
you guys are using the name of my inner child, Ryan. But he loves it. He loves to hear it. You know, everyone's inner child loves some attention. You know,
Mm-hmm.
good. It's good to treat our inner child with some love and compassion too. And I just, on that note, you know, especially when you first start meditating, but you know, I've been meditating for about 2 years on the daily, twice a day, at least almost every day. And even now, there's times if I got a stressful day or maybe I didn't eat quite how I should have, my body feels uncomfortable, I slept wrong, got a kink in my neck,
Mm-hmm.
I'll have a lot of thoughts going on. It's like it can be difficult to get to that silence or get to that place of peace. But I want to go to what Taja's saying, especially when you're getting started and it's so foreign and new to you. And whenever you're releasing these stresses in meditation, it is just stress being released because stress gets trapped in the body when it's not processed properly. And we've all got stresses trapped in us, all the way back to being children. Unless you've been doing a lot of work, I don't want to say everybody, but
Mm-hmm.
so these stresses start to release because your body starts to get so relaxed, more relaxed than even when you sleep in many cases. But what can happen is, the stress bubbles up and the mind kind of recognizes the feeling of the stress and it tries to relate an idea to that stress. This can actually bring more thoughts and maybe even memories of dramas and traumas into the mind. And the good thing to know is that that's the stress releasing. It's almost detaching you from it. And with this stress release, what's happening that's great in the long run is that you are clearing out your nervous system. So where all these things are in there and it's creating the thoughts, and maybe it's hard to close your eyes and not have all these thoughts going on, but the more you meditate and you clear these stresses out, your nervous system begins to purify. Your thoughts become less and less how they are at this point. Like you're gonna have less speedy, stressful thoughts, less going on in the brain, less just this and that and that and this, and I gotta do this and I gotta do that, and where did I put my keys? Oh my gosh, this and that, and it just becomes more peaceful over time because you're cleaning out your vessel. You know, there's so much more than just the mind at work here. The whole body is a unified organism. The brain, people put so much emphasis on the brain, but the brain is connected to the rest of the body through the nervous system, sending electronic impulses that reach pretty much every muscle system, every organ system, your bones, your skin, every cell is impacted by this electricity, and it goes back to the brain, and it's the looping system. So, and like Taja's saying, the parasympathetic nervous system, and there's the sympathetic nervous system. That's the fight or flight. When we have a lot of stress and we're not uh, able to handle it well, we live in that fight or flight,
Mm-hmm.
very reactive in the moment. It's a great thing to have when you're driving a car and someone's about to run that red light, and you see them and you're able to react right away. But and there's other times in life when it's better to be in that parasympathetic, which is really calm and relaxed, and it allows us to see and plan for the future so that we're not living every day in a reactionary state. Meditation can really just center us in that parasympathetic nervous system where we're able to cycle our energy very, very cleanly and smoothly. We're releasing stress so that it's not bogging us down. It's not keeping us in this reactionary place where something that might have happened years ago that we never processed, we're still finding that we get in maybe a conflict that reminds us in the subconscious of, oh, thanks. It reminds us in our subconscious of that conflict in a sense. And then we have a reaction that's very similar to how we reacted then, or we're trying to defend ourselves against that memory and that experience, which is trapped in our body because it was never processed. It begins to release, and then we're able to enter the world in a place where something dramatic happens, and we can kind of stop and observe and even be like, well, what's going on in me that makes me feel this way about it, and what's going on with this person that's making them feel this way, It's probably not anything to do with me. They're probably responding to a drama from their past, and they never
Mm-hmm.
worked through that. The meditation, as you're clearing the mind, you gain perspective, and that's awareness. When people talk about you got to raise your consciousness, your conscious awareness, that's all it is. Your ability, yeah, I won the jackpot. Your ability
There you go.
to
Oh,
see what's going on inside you and outside of you from a more, well, I guess it's an objective, a detached perspective, so that you can operate better in the world. You know,
professional
and it's
processing.
yeah, and it's a huge process. Like I said, I've been doing this for about 2 years, and I just worked through a major trauma from my childhood. I would never, I would never. I can only imagine I would never have been able to identify and see and experience from this, like, you take a drone and you rise above, and now you have a whole map of the landscape instead of the position you're at right now. That's kind of how it was. Be able to see, wow, this whole thing, and I was reacting to the situation for most of my life, and it caused me a lot of pain. I never even noticed it until now. But I have that big view to be able to meditate, and then I have this community. I have these friends, and it's really what we want to build here too is the community. I was able to sit with these guys and just talk about it openly and honestly without fear, in a safe space,
Yeah.
and their perspectives, to be able to see and relate to that, to deeply listen, to have the attention, for meditating, where they're not just thinking about their stuff the whole time I'm talking, they're listening. And they're able to go, wow, that reminds me so much of my story,
Yeah.
and have you ever looked at it from this point of view? And it's like, wow, that point of view is so true. I'm going to process that now.
Yeah.
It's really a beautiful thing, meditation and building community around it. And yeah, so my hope is that, y'all stick around and check it out and keep coming back. And we're wanting to build a Discord. We are building a Discord so we can have an online community for everyone to come together, and we can teach meditation techniques and other more spiritual technologies. And that's what they really are:
Mm-hmm.
technologies, meditation, breath
Yep.
work, mantras, and yoga. And there's so many things that we have to offer that we want to bring and share with the world. And this is where it all begins. So,
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
anyway,
so Buckmeister Fuller, I think Buckmeister Fuller said that the goal is to build a reality that makes the previous reality obsolete. So
mm,
essentially, that's what we're trying to do here. And we're
yeah,
using meditation as the new system, or what anchors us all. So individually, meditation can be what makes anyone's individual system current obsolete for the new one. All you got to do is apply the meditation, and then I'm sure as time goes on you'll start applying other things too, but that'll all be based on the individual. But yeah, anyway, that's I
I love
just
it.
that Buckmeister Fuller quote came to my head because yeah, that's yeah.
And to add to that, Tej, is like
Hmm.
basically what we're doing is allowing people to do a software update. You know,
Yeah,
it's a
yeah,
software update, and
upgrading the processor.
we're upgrading the whole entire operating system, and all we're doing is just directing and bringing awareness, bringing frameworks, bringing, like Cham was saying, like mantras and all these different modalities to allow you to see what type of operating system you want to build, right? And that's the beauty, right? Because spirituality is like a choose your own adventure game, right? Like you have the entire thing at your disposal. It's like an open world, right? And we're just saying, hey, like we're kind of like these NPCs, like, hey, you probably want to go check that out over there. I heard someone needs help, right? And we're just kind of shining this light, shining a beam, a quantum violet ray, and then you're able to take that with you wherever you go. and it's so beautiful, man. I'm just grateful for being here. Like I have so much to say, but then at the time, like when I start speaking, I'm just grateful, guys. I'm just really grateful because it works, you know, and I'm so grateful that I met these amazing guys, bro. Like, yeah, man, meditation alone is one thing, but meditation as a group, when you're ready to foster that community, that transcends so much because you're able to process certain things that, you know, I call it like the weight. Like, yeah, like, you know, when you're at the gym, like you need a buddy to spot you if you're trying to go to another level, you know? And what the buddy does is like allow you to feel safe to push your limits,
Refined.
you know? And yeah, you're able to refine in a way that you really can't by yourself. So yeah, that's what I wanted to contribute, because honestly, like I meditated a lot by myself, and I went through multiple, you know, shamanic journeys. I did a lot of ayahuasca, dealing with a lot of plant medicines, and that gave me the somatic space to be able to meditate. And when I was ready to meditate, I was able to reach heights that I didn't even think I could do, because I had the support system, because I had, you know, guidance. I had people saying, "Hey, yeah, I've been there. Hey, I recognize what you've been through," and like Chan was, you know, sharing with us. You know, we were all able to hold space for each other, right? One day was my time to, you know, to cry and like to just let it all out, and they held space for me. And then when they needed space, we're all holding space for each other. So I think the community, you know, and in the word is unity, and I think that's what we're all striving to reach, right? The singularity, the single point, non-duality, you know, the 0 point, right? And I truly believe now, and I can say this wholeheartedly, there's only so much that one person could do. And, you know, when you are ready and you do go through your journey, finding that tribe, finding that community is the bridge to transcendence. And that's what I've experienced, you know, because there's a level of coherence, and there's a level of just like synchronicities that together I'm starting to see the power of like collective manifestations, collective, you know, just tapping into the quantum collectively, and it's so much more powerful. So yeah, I wanted to share that, you know, and even as I looked at the time, it was 12:12. So you know, it's just everything is in alignment, you know, and I just give thanks. I give thanks to the ancestors, to, you know, everyone that went before us to even get here, you know. So yeah, if anyone else wants to share, go ahead.
Yeah, I love what you said just about the operating system. Like, and our stories are so similar of like doing it alone. And like, I just know so much of the hard work I did and doing things by myself, you know, life was very stagnant. It wasn't really changing that much, but I just love the way you put it. And then I'll just keep this short to go over to Tej. But like, everything's about iteration, you know, the software update. Like, life is like that. We just keep updating. And here, a meditation, we can offer the experience to completely update the whole operating system, not just the app, but you know, the whole user interface, the whole user experience.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. You
Yeah.
know,
When I saw this start, it was just two people, and then it doubled, and then it doubled again. And then it became very clear to me that, like, through individual refinement, a collective refinement was not only did it happen as well, but it happened more efficiently. And the second it became a community refinement, all people in the community saw it, which only fueled the fire for more refinement individually and collectively. So again, it was where you see input going into a space, and then as the input touches all the people in the space, their own individual experience gets fed back to the group, which creates a whole new experience for the group as a whole. So it may seem like what we're doing right now is to help us, but know from the bottom of my heart, we're doing this to help you guys because it's what helps us. Helping you guys is what helps us be better, want to consistently refine ourselves so that there can be an example of refinement. And then what I miss, they see. What they missed, I see. And then again, the broader the range of our spectrum, the more we cover as a whole. And then we can always be as strong as our strongest link, or the least experienced link. But that's not even a thing. We're all just a link that goes back to the circle. So anytime anyone in the circle grows, it goes through the infinity sign all the way back to the person that it started with. And normally by then, the rest of the group has provided enough feedback to where it can then be evolved on again. Yeah, and I go too much. Stay tuned to
love
Go
it.
deeper. Go deeper, bro.
We'll go deeper. Are we
But so we have about 8 minutes left until we start meditation.
Okay. All right. Well, I can go 8 minutes deeper if that's really what we're going on to.
Get the shovels, guys.
So then,
We're going deep.
what?
I said, get the shovels, guys.
I'll try and keep it shallow. So one of the I'll use an example from my most recent yoga school class. We had a yoga school class, and one of the assignments we had to have was a 40-day sadhana. So you had to do the same asana for 40 days straight. And if you missed a day, you had to start over and go all the way back to day one.
Wow.
So it was an online class. So they recommended that you find a buddy for support, like a buddy system. Same thing they've been teaching you in school. You go to a field trip, you better have a buddy so that, like, if you get lost, we can at least find your buddy.
Yeah.
Or if you both get lost, you got a better chance. Anyway, the buddy system online was hard because everybody had different time zones. So it kind of created a problem, in which then also created the possibility to see a solution. So the solution that I saw was that if there was just a space where everybody went and put their experience or their daily sadhana, and the rest of the people knew about it, where they could also go to that place and then just see or find inspiration in the way they needed to, or just the space they felt comfortable in would then help them do their daily sadhana. Because it was like, oh, I really don't feel like doing mine. Oh, we're gonna go to the space. We're just calling it the space because I'm trying to stay not super deep. Anyway, so you just go to the place where everybody who does their daily sadhana posted their daily sadhana, and then you get to watch other people doing the thing that you want to do but are having trouble doing. Then you see someone that does this thing that resonates with you, and you're like, oh yeah, I'm so happy, I'm gonna try that, I'm gonna go do that now. And then boom, you just went and did your sadhana. You got the help of a buddy system, even though it wasn't the buddy system in the way of how we may traditionally know it. And that's kind of what I'm getting at, is we're going to try and make this space a space where people know it's going to be happening. They know when it's going to be happening. And if they just need a place to where they can feel safe and take in, they know it's there. If they need a space where they know they can put out, then it's there. Because everybody you see here in this space all went through both processes. They first entered the space, they needed to express themselves in the space, and then once they felt heard by the other member of the space, everything changes. Each individual person says the same thing. They're like, oh my gosh, the fact that I just feel like I can say anything to you guys, like, and you're not gonna judge me, is like the first game changer for the individual to level up their reality. Because then you start to be authentic,
Yes.
You don't have to worry about, oh, I want to express myself, but does it make logical sense to express myself because I'm worried about this, or this? Because logically,
Mm-hmm.
yes, it makes sense to express yourself, but based on the sympathetic nervous system, right? If you feel like you might be judged based on what you're going to say, it fears you into not saying what you wanted to say, even though you know deep down inside you want to say it. So thus creates the problem. And I just use that as an example so that hopefully I don't sound too crazy and that this seems like a practical series of steps in which you all can follow just like we all did.
Mm-hmm.
And they're all going to
Yeah.
be individual for the person. Like the one thing you'll hear me in the future preach more than anything is organic growth. Like,
Yes.
I just want to embody a conduit in which the teachings can flow through me and resonate with you, the people, the way that works best for you, the people. Don't do it how I tell you to do it. Go do your own research in you and do it the way that you are telling you to do it. And so the first thing you need is a group in which you're not worried to hit that point, that level. Like, so if
Mm-hmm.
you can go to a group or a space and be like, okay, I'm not worried to tell anybody what I already know about me, even if it just means you're telling them so that you can hear yourself. You then
Yes.
give permission to you to continue to be you. And
Yeah,
am I under eight
exactly,
minutes?
dude.
Uh,
Yeah,
y-
I can just say, when it comes to space, like, and the group, when you have a group like this, it's about accountability.
yes.
I remember when
That's it.
Aqua when he
Yes.
first joined up with us, he was like, "Man, guys, I wasn't gonna show up, but I was just like, I just know the guys are gonna be meditating without me, And I don't think it's like
Yeah.
a fear of missing out. It's not a fear. It's just knowing what you're missing.
Yeah.
And when you have other people doing it, it's a reminder. Come back to that, And Tej, I just want to say, like, if you're crazy, well, we just love. I don't want to use that word personally, but
There
if
you
that's who you are, we,
go.
we love and accept you, bro. Like, but yeah, I also love what you said. It is the biggest science to all this is the idea of like gnosis, that
Yes.
your life is the experience. We're giving you the info. We're kind of like we want to bring the techniques and we're giving the space. And it's for you to experiment and see what works best for you in your life and just try it out. That's the real science right there. It's
Mm-hmm.
beyond just, you know, we're not going to tell you you have to do anything or go do this with your life. We're just creating that space and offering the information for you to do the test on yourself.
Mm-hmm.
If the experiment goes well, then it works for you, and that's beautiful. You get to level up your life. So we are the 2 minute mark before meditation. Just want to drop one more time. We are working on getting our Discord up and going. Working on first a meditation teaching workshop, and it's 2 minutes left. We'd love for you to stick around and meditate with us. It'll be 20 minutes. If you're not really sure how to meditate, like I said, just close your eyes, observe your thoughts. I think you were here. Tej gave a great description on how to meditate.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and yeah, Aqua, you got anything to share before we get this? I don't want to say train rolling, more like the train slows down, but
Yeah. I mean, just have fun, right? Like, play, like experiment in and like the guys were saying, like it's all about the individual journey. We could only share our individual experiences, maybe to shine a light on possibilities, right? Because like the guys might recommend something, you try it out at least once, right? I always recommend people to try everything else at least once, right? Because now you have the personal experience, you have the personal data, and then you could either validate or invalidate the hypothesis, right? So your hypothesis might be, hey, if I do this technique, I'll feel more calmer. I'll feel more relaxed. I'll feel more in tune, aligned at a higher vibration, right? Do the experiment. Then afterwards, journal, assess. are the results matching the hypothesis? So we are going to come from that angle in this channel. So I'm excited. The clock is running down and we're about to slow it down. We're about to get into alpha and no, or the
Hey.
theta. We're about to get into the theta. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm excited. Oh wait, I went to the wrong screen. It jumps to the wrong thing. So this is, you know, we're still experimenting and learning things. But now I'm going to switch over to the meditation scene. And we are going to get meditating, guys. All right. So see you in a little
Yeah.
bit.
Sat now.
Sat
So
nam.
now,
All right, and we're live.
20 minutes is up. Meditating. Everyone just take your time, slowly come out, come back into your awareness. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Let the light. If you're in there deep, if you're not, your body just needs to come back to life. Like starting up an old computer on Windows 95. You've got to give it a few minutes to get going. I don't know how many people get that reference, but
We're aging ourselves here, guys.
oh man.
Just like the laugh that you just inspired, it was a slow start, but
Yeah, so if y'all still have your eyes closed, I like to just start rubbing my hands together, get a little electricity going. You can't see, I got actually the soles of my feet rubbing together. Get that full circuit charge, and rub my hands. Slightly just graze your fingers on your face and your arms, kind of make that physical connection, wake up your skin, wake up your body. And if you got lights on, it could be bright to open your eyes on meditation. So I'll put my palms over my eyes, open my eyes into my palms so it's still dark, and just let a little bit of light in at a time. What I really like to do is just pull my palm slowly away from my face. Look at the lines on my hand. Look at the picture of your palms, the map of your life, the map of your destiny. See what you see. It's like a Rorschach painting. I always see like the wings of a phoenix, the body of a phoenix, the rising of freedom from the ashes. Welcome back into the world, everyone.
mine changes.
The lines change?
Yeah, what I see in the lines, they change.
Oh,
Sometimes
you
it'll
see
be,
it up.
yeah. Sometimes it'll be sacred geometry, sometimes there'll be runes. As of late, I've been seeing a lot of the Merkaba, or it'll be the DNA helix, which is weird how my hand can, but there'll always be some way where the light refracts through a crack in my fingers just right to where it makes it makes the line something totally different.
Yeah, sometimes you see
Another
the shadows differently.
Yeah,
Yeah.
another thing I like to do, they talk about in Qigong, is after you generate the friction in your hands and or feet, or just any time after you finish the meditation, to kind of harvest it, just kind of take that energy, redistribute it back over your crown chakra or your head, back down your neck,
Mm.
pat your throat a little bit, just wherever your body needs it, it'll know. So if your body feels like it just needs to be rubbed somewhere, just rub it there and think of a loving thought and smile. In Qigong, we can cultivate this energy, and then we can also use it to heal ourselves. And then it helps to smile. That one's always good. Smiling's
Yeah,
good.
with the hands on the head, like in the womb, the hands actually develop from the skull and from the brain. So that's, you know, kind of our nervous system has so many endings in our fingers and toes, and the deep connection there. You're in the womb and you're curled up, hands like this, and they split off in this big
Mm.
nervous ball that's forming in your head. And so, yeah, just I like what you said there.
Yeah.
Rub it over the crown, making that connection, getting that closed loop. And feels really good too, just to like pet yourself.
Yeah.
Like I get to be a cat for a minute.
Oh yeah.
How do you guys feel after meditating? Like, what was your experience? Like, how were you feeling before? If you don't mind sharing anything, if anything came up during, and then like how you feeling now.
Yeah, if I may go first, I just feel more relaxed. You know, like this is our first episode, so there's a lot of nerves, right? So there's a lot of excitement and energy, right? So I definitely feel more, in my body, more relaxed, and yeah, like the only thing that was coming up during the meditation was like, like when am I gonna know the timer's going off? So I would like check, periodically, and but yeah, it was still very calming, very soothing, and I'm just grateful to be here, grateful to be emanating this vibration. When I looked at my OBS, I was like, this is so amazing. Like, this is the vibration that we're emanating to the world. And it just made me so grateful. So, yeah, man. Go ahead, Tesh. What was your experience?
So at the beginning, I was so excited about thinking about all this stuff that I'm gonna do here. I had to remind myself that I wasn't even really meditating. So I had to take I had to take my own instruction and just let it all go, knowing that like it's all gonna happen in the right time, that when it works best for everybody on exactly, it's all gonna happen the way it's most perfectly designed to happen. So once I remembered the organicness of that, I was able to drop down in there. And then I was just kind of in bliss to like ride the full emotional wave of like, oh, I'm kind of focusing on the future. And then I realized that none of it needs to be focused on. And then it put me right in that pocket of like, yeah, what were we talking about? Uh, yeah,
Yeah.
just that kind of like 0 point. And maybe it's just because I'm the emotional manifester, but it's always cool to be like, oh, here's the high, here's the low, and then yeah, I'm right in the middle. Now I'm good. That's one of the few things I plan on talking about in the future, the quantum meditations. Um, just yeah, there'll be a bunch of them. Just fun new ways to meditate. I mean, they all essentially acquire the same end result, which is
Mm-hmm.
that which is needed by the individual user. So it's just kind of funny and awesome to experiment with all of these ways or flavors and see which one gets you there most efficiently. Like, is
Mm-hmm.
it this type of meditation, is it this type of meditation? But with the quantum stuff, man, especially since the science today is the quantum is coming out, it's going fast, and every time they apply quantum to spirituality, it's like they're hand in hand. It's like yeah, it's like the further we go down that science road, I believe spirituality and science are just going to be like, boop, yeah. So it's going to be able to define me as much as the human mind can define anything, which is quite limited speaking from an overall sense of the picture. But yeah, if you want to go any further, you're going to kind of have to hop off this and hop on this. Just another phase of growth. But like
Mm-hmm.
yeah, to just deep peace, man. Even and see even that, like, I guess I'll just wrap it back up with an example. So I meditation allowed me to go from so excited to not worried, even though why I was worried. So I came in worried about it. Excitement is also it's an energy. It's yeah. So I was so excited I became worried, but then I was able to not become worried because I remembered it's all going to happen the way it's supposed to happen. So again, meditation was able to take me from this point here, and then even when I kind of tripped up and got to this point down here, it brought me back to here. And so it doesn't matter where you go or where your mind goes, it gets you in a pattern of like coming back to this point, your heart, your inside space, where everything for you makes sense for you. In
Mm-hmm.
you, not in me or in him or in them. Like the guru is it within yourself. Like
Mm-hmm.
yeah, knowledge we can put in us but like wisdom comes from within us, comes out of us from within us. I might have lost it there, but we'll have to check the replay.
Yeah, man. You know, yeah, talking about cultivating and qigong, and one real thing there I get with meditation is like Zen, Shan, Ren, truth,
Mm-hmm.
compassion, and tolerance. Just mass increase in that, you know. That's just when you were talking about coming from the heart. That's just the first thing that came to my mind is like seeing the truth and feeling compassion and having tolerance for and understanding, you know, for so much. But yeah, you know, I was in there. We've been going actually for quite some time. I think Aqua Wolf and I hopped on the Discord server today, what, like
Like
8 hours ago?
dude, like I won, man.
nine
What
9 hours ago.
what a day.
And yeah, but you know, we just started off, we just chatted, talked, processed, like some post-processing chat, and
Yeah.
yeah, we talked for like an hour, maybe more. And it's like, oh, well, let's start getting to work, you know, and
Yeah.
we were just kind of getting things together, and Tej jumped in, joined us, and it's like working on setting my laptop up so I can start creating like, you know, AI agents. Um,
Yeah.
doing work there, just planning out the show for everybody, you know, just really getting into all these details. And, you know, then we came and we wanted to get this together. And of course, you know, it's the first time we were hitting all these bumps, and but it was getting stressful, you know. So we went to meditation. I just like, oh man, I'm just like tense. And it took me like 10 minutes just to get out of that, you know, just like putting my
Mm-hmm.
attention places, and man, just doing some visualization. And there's just so many techniques, like you said, Tej, like so great what we have to offer to each other and to anyone really is creating your arsenal, your tool belt,
Mm-hmm.
so that, you know, like maybe your main technique isn't working. Well, here's another technique that can help get you to that point, you know,
Mm-hmm.
like get your awareness on something, clear it up, move to the next stage. Um, but yeah, you know, and then I realized too, I got headphones in, and I get like when my eyes are closed, I have headphones in. I get like what's that word? Like when you lose your balance and stuff like that.
Motion
Uh,
sickness or like
No, vertigo.
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 I get
Yeah.
I get vertigo. Like I can't do yoga with headphones in. I just can't picture my body and my balance. So, and I was like, man.
Interesting.
So I took them out. My whole body just loosened up. But then I was like you. I was like, man, I don't know what time it is, and I was like, I need to check the time. I was like, there's 4 minutes left, and I opened my eyes. It said 4 minutes on the dot. I was like, what?
I love it. That's the
It
quantum,
was,
guys. That is the quantum.
yeah, it is pretty wild. Like, especially if you're doing 20 minutes a day all the time, you can almost just know when it's over. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure you could share some stories about that. Like,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
um, yeah, and but yeah, I was definitely feeling in there too, like some of this like excitement and some of the stress, and like little on the control side of like wanting things to happen, or like what's it gonna be like, and what are we gonna do. And I just love how meditation, like you said, Tej, it just takes you to that organic, you know, like for, and just think of it as like it takes you to a place of surrender to
Mm-hmm.
like what's happening in the flow, what's happening right now in the moment, what's the state, instead of imagining what it could be and this and that, being like, oh wow, things just seem to unfold really well when you let it happen. You
Yeah.
know,
Mm-hmm.
there's some force in the universe that's organizing events and
Well,
chains of events, and it just streams through it all, and we can just dive into that river. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I had a little experience exactly like you talked about there during the meditation, where like I was after I got in my sweet spot after the like the beginning, I got in my pocket, and then I'm just chilling there and chilling there, And then like all of a sudden out of nowhere, it's like thought comes out where it's like, whoa, what if somebody comes in and starts making bad comments? And I was like, oh, we'll just show them that just because they're bad comments doesn't mean you have to respond poorly. And then the bad comment will just be a better example about how one can self-regulate all types of energy, good or bad. Thank you for the bad comment. Now we're going to utilize that information. Maybe it'll make what we do in the future better. Maybe it won't. Maybe just people seeing us not react to the comment poorly will help the future. And I mean, like, it all kind of just poof in like super speed. And it was like, oh, yeah, I just saw the dome expanding, like the space that we're creating just expanding. It's like, man,
yeah, I love
nothing...
what you're saying. Just like it could be perceived as a bad comment, but ultimately, like, there is no good or bad here. We're just going to address it with like love and light and use the data however we see fit. And it's just like there. It's just, it is what it is, you know. No responding, you know.
And then the group is gonna start to say, hey, there was no need for, if there is negativity with no rhyme or reason, like as far as if it's negative but not for constructive, I see just the whole group, the whole space is like, yo, what we say that for? It doesn't help us as the space. Like it's gonna self-regulate itself because everybody's gonna know what was helpful and what's not helpful, and then it's like, why? Yeah, nobody wants to be not helpful. People might not realize they're being not helpful, but then when everyone's like, yo, man, that was cool, but that doesn't really help us much, so thank you. But yeah, can we reframe that? Like, can we help you express yourself more balanced, or just a little differently, or however it goes down? But really, like, the main goal is that one can only affect oneself. It doesn't matter how negative something seems. It's only negative when I take it negative. The second I'm like, duh, that's negative, that's it, it's over. But the second I'm like, oh, that just may look negative, it may sound negative, but it's probably not maybe negative. They could really care so much that it just comes out negative. Like, who am I to be the, this is this and that's that? It's all just what it is, man. Energy.
Yeah, man. And you hit it right on the nail, or right on the head, right? Cause like I had a YouTube channel, and like the comments, like that's always everyone's worst fear, guys. It's like, oh my god, if someone's gonna say something bad or like whatever, and then after a few of them, you realize exactly what Ted said is like, I have the ability and I have the sovereignty to choose how I respond to this. And I always chose to respond with like love and like, and just kind of like very sarcastic with some people, because like some people have a very limited perspective of life in general, so they can't really see what you see. So then I just trying to transmute it into like a joke or something. It's like, yeah, okay, all right, bro, I see what you're saying.
Scientifically, they say that the human vessel responds to trauma most efficiently through humor. Like, if we were to ever have to handle a traumatic experience, the science of how this vessel does it most efficiently is by laughing about it.
So is that why people like do like a nervous laugh? If like they're in an uncomfortable position, they just laugh, and like there's no joke, but like people like, oh, okay, okay.
Yep. It's the body's best, most efficient way to respond to trauma. Yeah, is laughter.
Interesting. Okay.
And so the cool thing about in yoga, or Guru Singh taught us that laughing and crying is the same sound, but one of them is asking for help energetically, like when you cry instead of laugh. Crying, you're asking for energetic help, and then laughing, you're giving energetic help. So like,
I have a I do have a friend. He doing some deep inner work and came to realize that he used laughter as a trauma response in uncomfortable situations.
Mm.
But it would almost be like a bypass instead of
Mm-hmm.
dealing with it, kind of laugh, and that became a deep place of his work, and he realized the difference. And like when you, yeah, just he became able to learn to laugh authentically, and
Mm.
over time and to handle those. I just thought it was really interesting because it is a way of, yeah, like processing very efficiently, and that some people like it's like mispurposed,
Mm-hmm.
but for that processing in the moment, still like it's so uncomfortable. I'm just gonna laugh, and
Yeah.
yeah. But I think, yeah, when yeah, just being able to bring awareness to really anything internally and find that path to authentic laughter.
Yeah, the way I see it too is if they laughed at me, I helped them heal. So it doesn't matter what I'm doing, that was helpful. So
I love it.
laugh it up, and it'll help me
Yeah.
do some probably dorky stuff. But it's like,
Mhm.
I healed you.
Gotcha.
Gotcha.
On that topic about laughter, they say some of like the best comedians have had like the craziest life, right? And that's why they could say those jokes, because like that's how they, I guess, process the traumas in their life. So it's
Mhm.
interesting. Yeah. So just a heads up, guys, we have been recording for 1 hour and 28 minutes.
Oh,
Um, yeah, just a heads up.
well, that's essentially close to like that's all she wrote, folks, right?
I mean, how are you guys feeling? Do you guys feel like you want to transmit anything else? Because then we could start, landing the ship, as I like to call it, right? Bringing it home. It's up to you
Yeah,
guys.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to just like feel the question. This would kind of be a Q&A time, but
Ah,
we're
true,
not.
true.
This one's not really live, but we did. I do have a question that I wanted to
Perfect.
so
field,
then
which would
we
be
can.
if you could give one piece of advice to someone just starting this journey of meditation, what advice would you give them?
That's good. Can I go first?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Oh,
So so I'm just gonna speak to my I guess my myself, you know, in those times. And what I would say to him is like the journey of 1,000 miles, the path to the zenith of a mountain begins with one step. And it's okay if you don't take the perfect step right now. Over time, you will learn how to balance yourself. You'll find support, and it's okay. It's okay to struggle. It's okay to not know. And as long as you're attempting to at least try, like that's really all that matters. In those first moments, the hardest thing to do is just to get yourself to sit down. And even if you could sit down for 1 minute and observe your breath for 1 minute, you're actually doing it. And be easy on yourself, be gentle on yourself, show yourself compassion and love, because that's gonna get you much further than doing it perfectly or whatever you think that is. But just focus on your breath, bring yourself to the present moment, and it's gonna be extremely hard at first. So just love yourself, man. Like that's what I would tell someone that's starting. And yeah. And if you can in the beginning to expedite your process, I know it will be hard, but try to find some people that are, embarking on that same journey with you, because it's going to make it 10 times easier. And I know this because I'm at the end. So I love you wherever you are in your journey. we're here for you. So that's what I would say. Yeah.
So what line? What's the one thing I would say to? There was so much good stuff there. I think I forgot the original question.
It was if you could
Yeah.
tell someone new to meditating, like their first time, like what would you tell them? But I kind of reinterpreted it to just be like, what would I tell my beginning self? You know?
Yeah. So the first, I guess I kind of would I would just echo Aqua, is that just start. The hardest part is just starting.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and not just being spiritual, at least for me, everything. The hardest part is just starting. If you
Mm-hmm.
want to feel the pressure of time alleviated, just start. But the longer you want to start something and don't do it, time keeps like just pressure coming bearing down on you. The second you decide that you're just going to start and do a little every day, you're now flowing with time, so it's not dominating you. The other thing I would say is do it less. How the smallest amount done efficient or consistently is better than a large amount that's done inconsistent. So like
Mm-hmm.
if you can only meditate for 3 minutes a day every day, do that and just know that sooner or later it's going to go from 3 to 5, from 5 to 10, from 10 to 20. And I can say that because you'll start to see the value in it. You'll start to want to do it more. You'll see how it's benefiting your life. And then it becomes easier to not only continue with it, but to fuel it, to help it grow, to start giving yourself a little more like, okay, I was doing 5 minutes, now I want to do 10 minutes. And then you'll do 10 minutes as long as the body needs to before you can see the benefit to invest another 10 minutes, and then you make it 20 minutes. All of these things will happen naturally, but if you don't start and if you don't set yourself up for success when you start, you will burn yourself out, or you won't really give it the like they say, try everything once, but really just try it to where you know deep down inside that you gave it all you got. Like when
Mm-hmm.
I sometimes I'll try something and I'll it's like, yeah, I tried it once, but like I know deep down inside I didn't really, like, I tried it but I didn't really give it a chance. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes I'll have to like try it up to 3 times before it's like, all right, yeah, no, I definitely know I gave it a chance and now I can do this or this. Um, so set yourself up for success, whatever that would be. You only know. Don't ask someone else what you think they think you should do. Like, start with just the 3 minutes
Yeah.
and ask yourself what you should do. Even if that's all you do for the 3 minutes, just what should I do next to better listen to who I am? Like, how, ask yourself, like, try and build a relationship with you, the inside you, because it's a different, you are only a representation of the external you, and you
Mm-hmm.
only see it as it's mirrored back to you. So hopefully that got confusing, because it's confusing. So if you go straight to the source of you, you can then
Mm-hmm.
start to understand how it's being expressed and how you're seeing it expressed back to you. So yeah, so start small, start at something you know you can succeed in, do it consistently every day, and work to build up, because that's how you will see benefits of what you're doing, allowing you to continue to do it more. And then if you don't have a space, just keep tapping your space, because the consistency of you doing that will bring others around you who are also doing that. So your energy will magnetize other people who are also doing that same thing, and then you'll be able to find a space within that space. um have faith and know that it's already done, know that it's coming. You're only able to perceive one point in time, and time moves through your single point of perception linearly, so there's going to be a lag. You can't like want something to change, know it's going to change, and experience that change all at the exact same time. You have to want something to change, then you have to make a practical step in which how you think that will allow that change to be facilitated, and then you have to observe the events that happen in between now and then to see if you're in alignment with that, or if that change remains in alignment with your overall outcome. And then you just have faith in the process. But again, you got to have the process to be able to start to have faith in it. You can't have the process right off the get-go and have faith in it. It's kind of like it's a stairway.
Mm-hmm.
You'll know there's another step, but it becomes easier as you get after you've repeated enough times, I guess, if that makes sense. And then just be grateful no matter what you did, even if you're shooting for 3 minutes of meditation a day, but then you show up and it's like, oh, I was only able to do 2. That's fine. Then you go back to doing 3 the next day. Like, just meet yourself in the middle. Like, just
Mm-hmm.
the path of least resistance is what I'm gonna leave on. Just, you know it inside of you. Whatever gives you that most at peace feeling, follow that. Start to communicate with that. Start to build a relationship with that. And everything you need will come out of that.
Mm-hmm. I love it.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks, Tej. Thanks, Aqua. Um, yeah, you guys really laid it down. I'm here at the end. Like, what else is there to say? You know, I guess if I was on top of all the mountain that's been built to put the little snow on the ice cap, you know, if I was to speak looking back at myself when I first began meditation, I guess I would say, you know, have an open mind, because as life can be so unexpected and different, this meditation thing is going to bring a lot of new experiences into your life. During the meditation, um, yeah, the inner world is infinite as the outer world. You know, there's a lot of layers and levels there, and it's going to be a lot to see. So just keep an open mind, and it does reflect in the outer world too. I found, you know, like a lot of dynamic changes began to happen. The stress is cleared out, and I was able to let go of a lot of these past dramas and traumas. Really opened a lot of room in my life for new things to come in and new great things. It's like connections I made with these two guys, and so many other things. So just be ready for, you know, meaningful transformations. And if you're in a place right now where things aren't exactly where you would have hoped them to have been at this point in your life, um, there's just so much opportunity to propel yourself in a new and beautiful direction. Um, just be ready for that. You know, find some support, find some friends, find a network or a buddy or someone you can just talk to, someone who meditates, someone you can relate with, to share these stories. I mean, I've had some experiences where I was like, man, did that just happen? Did I just see through somebody else's eyes? Did I just like experience the life of a squirrel crawling around on a tree? You know, and I had a friend and I could talk to him. He's like, wow, that actually something similar really happened to me, and I didn't want to talk to anybody because I didn't think they'd believe me. You know,
Yeah,
and
you can always come
with
here.
that though, I would say also to my beginning self, if you do have experiences that are out of the ordinary, don't try to force them to happen again, or they will not happen again. It's
Yeah.
kind of a catch 22 or paradox of sorts, of like
Mm-hmm.
wanting an experience to happen because you've experienced it can prevent it from happening.
Mm-hmm.
It's about letting go of control. But intention is powerful. Yeah, I would say that too. Always have an intention when you meditate. I intend to be more calm after this. I intend to be able to handle the situation with my boss better. Go into your meditation with something in mind that you would like to see an improvement, or you would like to see be better in your life. The thing in the subconscious that's going to process as well. Yeah, just have some people there for you. You might come across some difficult memories. You might have some wild experiences, or you might just wanna have some good laughs, like you feel blissful and you want to share it with somebody. There's a whole range there, and it's good to have people to share that with, who
Mm-hmm.
accept you, who love you, and who want to be there for you. So
And that's what we are, all of us. If you can't find anyone else, you can always just come back here because that's why this place was created. So like, yeah, seriously. And I just want to echo what Ryan said because that's so intention plus path of least resistance equals desired result. So
Mm.
like so we'll just use an example. If I believe that meditation won't give me any benefits, I have closed the door or I've blocked the ability for meditation to give me any results because I just manifested it.
Yeah.
Now, if I say I'm not really sure, but maybe meditation will give me better results, I just created a wedge there where like the universe can kind of get in through the little crack or like the foot in the door of the salesman, and then the door's open just enough to where it can do its thing and then you can see the results and then you can be like, oh yeah, okay, meditation does give me desired results and then now I want to do more of it.
Mm-hmm.
So be have awareness with your intention, because intention and an open mind is really the formula for fast track. So
Mm.
like if you can be aware of your intention and have an open mind about everything, you can really bring these two things in synergy and help them benefit yourself at a much faster rate. Like
Mm.
if I knew that at the beginning, I like it would have happened a lot faster. Sometimes speed is not the yeah, there are going to be some people out there like me who wants to be like, I want to get there as fast as possible, and it doesn't matter if I have some bumps along the way. Some people like to walk. They like to, enjoy the scene. So again, whichever one works best for you, but just open mindset about everything, and then a clear intention within yourself. You're driving the car, man. Don't ask me how to drive your car. I mean, I'll tell you, but you probably shouldn't do that anyway.
I love it. I love it. Oh man, this is awesome, guys. I feel like we are winding down now. We've been
Land our ship.
recording for about 1 hour and 44 minutes. Um, wow, what an incredible day! This is
yeah,
this has been an intense day. We started at 1. It's 11 on my end, and we've just
wow,
been holding this frequency. We intended to start about 2 hours before, and then there was a lot of hiccups and turbulence, as expected. It's the first day, but all in all, I'm just wow. Like I feel refreshed. One thing about this is like those who teach learn twice, right? So we're not only here to teach, but we're also here to learn, right? Like this is as much fun for us as it is for you, and I'm looking forward to more of these. I'm very grateful for these friends, these spiritual compadres, right? These are my amigos. It's the three amigos, you know what I'm saying? So we're definitely gonna get the party lit. We're gonna get the spirit lit, and yeah, I'm excited. I don't know what more to say. It's almost 11. It's 11:11, by the way.
oh
Oh
man,
wow.
yeah,
Anyway,
On my end. So yeah, so
22:11 here.
yeah, there you go. There you go. But yeah, if you guys want to say any parting words, I feel like we hit an amazing question, amazing beginning first video. You know, what is meditation? Laying the foundation, speaking to ourselves. You know, speaking about different techniques, going into the meditation, and we covered so much ground that I'm sure people are gonna watch this a lot just because it's so foundational, and we came at it from 3 different perspectives, and this is just the beginning, guys. You know, we're excited for everything to come, and we have to remind ourselves and ground ourselves to be present because we have so much to share, so much to give. We have, you know, mountains and mountains of information is just it's pouring, is streaming through us, and we're just the conduits, guys. You know, don't look at us like your guru, right? Like it's like Tony Robbins. I'm not your guru. You know, like you are the guru. You know, we're just gonna like, hey, you know, maybe you should try this, maybe you should try that. You know, it's up to you, right? You know, like Tej was saying, look within, right? Because that's where it all is, right? The treasures are within you, right? Even in the Bible, it says, seek ye first the kingdom of heaven, and all things shall be added onto you. The kingdom of heaven is within you, right? Like they tell you these things, and yeah, I'm excited, man. So if you guys want to share some last words, go ahead.
I guess I'll keep it short and sweet. I'm a student of life, and that will always be the case until I'm in a different one. So, um, all of us, I feel, can help us all do our job better or play out our role better, no matter what the role is. So, if anybody who is, or if anybody who did, or if anybody who does in the future watches this, please just feel safe enough to respond in however way your body naturally felt to respond. The space here and the people here are reinforced enough to where we can it'll be safe here. It'll be received in love, and not only will it be received in love, it'll probably help. It'll help, and if it helped you, then it definitely helped us. So again, that's kind of what I'm getting at, is just please feel free, feel safe to interact, to respond, to speak. Like, we give you the permission to speak so you can be heard. That's why we're doing this. We want people to feel like they can speak no matter what the words come out of their no matter what the words come out of their mouth. Just safe space. So show yourself, help us help you. And thank you, because without you guys we wouldn't be doing this. So again, there you go. So no.
Satnam.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Because I'm just really looking forward to more of these. That, like, yeah, this is just scratching the surface. It's like almost a little difficult to not just like really go into some stuff, you know. With time,
Yes.
you know, there's a labyrinth of knowledge and wisdom to share, and this is just the baseline. So I know we've got a lot of really great topics to speak to and speak about, and some series that we want to get into, you know, a couple of things about this and a couple of things about that. Yeah, it's just really exciting. So for anyone who's tuned in, who's checking this out for the first time, maybe not the first time, if it's not the first, if you're watching this more than once and you made it this far, the second, third, man, thank you so much. Like, love.
We love you.
Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, so, but even if it's just your first time, just thank you so much for being here. Thanks for your time, your patience, your attention, and for taking this chance to step into a new you, whether you're new to meditation or just new to group meditation or just looking forward to the possibilities. Yeah, kicking it, or the possibilities that are beginning here with this venture of ours.
Yeah.
Just want to end, you know, just with the intention. Loka Sangraha, it's a Sanskrit word, the welfare of the world, you know. It's Let's all try to tune into the alleviation of the suffering of all sentient beings. You know, the empowerment of the individuals, the empowerment of the families and the tribes, the empowerment of the collective, you know, through proper guidance, through proper wisdom, through the skills, techniques, and abilities to heal, raise our vibrations, and be an example of what it means to live correctly, healthily, with love, with light, truth, compassion, and tolerance. Bless you, bless you, bless you. We love you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Satnam.
Satnam.
Unconditional love for oneself and that of all others. This is the way. Love and light to infinity and beyond. Salam. Namaste.
Satnam. Namaste. Wholeness and balanced
Namaste.
vibrations, everyone. Much love. And this is the final seconds of the first of many, many live streams and broadcast. So thank you for your attention, your awareness, and your presence. Till we meet again, with so much love and gratitude. We depart for now, but only for a moment. Bye for now.
Salam.
You see a tree, give it a hug. All right, for me, please.
All right, and we're signing off. Bye.